topic. Today we are talking about how to deal with too much information. Do you ever feel like things are just too busy? How do you cut through all the noise of modern life? Well, 8 on Your Side has the answers today, and joining me now is Dr. William Lambos, and we appreciate you being here. I'm wondering, can you train your brain to really tune some of this out?
In fact, you can. It's hard for us to remember that we evolved in times when there was much less input of information and much less stimulation going on. And the most important thing to pay attention to was, is there a predator over here or prey over here? And besides that, what else was going on didn't matter that much.
Now we're constantly doing this. It's like non-stop. You really have to take a break.
Well, if you think of the demands of the job, the demands of your school, your demands of your family, the demands of the road, the demands of the distracting environment, and so forth, the frontal lobes are getting taxed by having all of this input, and yet the brain wants to act as an efficient filter, only letting into consciousness what's important enough for you to pay attention to.
Is that why I feel so forgetful now? It's like a frontal lobe problem? Too much information up there?
It is in fact that, because the frontal lobes determine what gets sent backwards in the brain to the memory areas, so for you to remember for later. So if there's stuff coming in and you can't tell, is it important? Do I need to remember it? Okay, we call that working memory. It gets out of hand and just confusion. And
run out of space, and then you have to buy more gigabytes and stuff like that.
Yeah, something like that. Unfortunately, you don't have to. There are ways around it.
And that's part of what you're talking about, is how you can train yourself to better deal with stress.
Actually, yes. There are ways of training yourself, meaning one-on-one, and there are many mindfulness techniques, there's meditation, there is calming and breathing techniques and so forth. But to really get to the root of the issue, neurobehavioral training turns out to be the answer.
Is that something anyone can do?
It really requires some sophisticated equipment, but fortunately it's non-invasive. It can be achieved through putting a set of sensors on your head without, these days now we can do it without wires, without gels, without hospital-like equipment. It simply slips over your head. The computer reads the brain waves and determines which ones are helpful to focus, pay attention to relevant stimuli, and then as your brain begins to wander, you get a gentle message, no, stay on task. As it stays on task, you get a reward. Good job, do that more. Do that a couple of times over and over, like learning to ride a bike. You start wobbling,
or like
then you get
Pavlov's
better.
Dog.
Yeah, it is actually. It's more like Skinner's rat finding the cheese in the maze. Okay, the reward of the information feedback trains the brain at a neurological level to know what to focus on.
Dr. Lambos, I apologize for interrupting, but we do have breaking news out of Oregon on that massive massacre, so we want to go there.